Dr. Rudi Newman, a historian and author working with Hertfordshire's library service, and in this series we'll be revealing some of the important, obscure and sometimes unusual stories to be found in Hertfordshire's history. St Albans is one of the key cities in Hertfordshire, and its Norman cathedral is one of the county's best-known landmarks. For centuries, pilgrims have come to the shrine of St Alban, Britain's first martyr, and today it continues to have spiritual importance for many. Visitors to the cathedral naturally focus on the shrine itself, but for those that walk around to the north aisle, there is the remains of what used to be a grand medieval edifice. Once finely carved stone, now it betrays a violent destruction. Broken parts reassembled on brick supports, many pieces missing. Largely forgotten, at one time this was a hugely significant item, its origin stemming back to Roman times and Alban himself. Around 2 to 300 AD, in the reign of the Emperor Diocletian, Christianity was banned and its followers subject to persecution and death. At this time, the city of Verulamium was one of the largest in Romano Britain and on a major road north. Passing through was an unknown man, a Christian priest desperate to find shelter. He met one of the city's residents, Alban, who took him in, and who became so touched by the priest's piety and faith that he turned to Christianity. News of Alban's visitor got round, and when soldiers came to arrest the priest, it was Alban, disguised in the priest's cloak, who stepped forward, allowing the priest to escape. Brought before a judge, Alban refused to offer sacrifices to the pagan gods, for which he was sentenced to receive the punishments that would have been given to the priest. In spite of whipping and other tortures, his faith held, so Alban was ordered to be beheaded. Various versions have been recorded over the centuries of what happened on the way out of the city, up the hill to his execution. Some say he stopped a river flowing so the party could continue, others that he created a new stream from which to drink, but key elements are all agreed upon. The executioner, astounded at what he had seen, refused to perform the task, later being executed himself for turning to Christianity. A second executioner did the deed, but as Alban's head fell, the executioner was struck blind, stylized in medieval images as his eyes falling out. Purportedly, another stream was created as Alban's head rolled, the Holy Well, behind the name of Holywell Hill. As for the priest, he went on to perform other conversions, including of the later saints Julius and Aaron, but was captured and brought to either Verulamium or Redbourne, where he too was put to death. With the rise of Christianity in the Saxon and later medieval periods, the new town of St Albans grew in significance, both for its position, as with Verulamium before, but also for its religious connection to Alban. The abbey that developed rose to be one of the most important and powerful in England. In the 12th century, though, the abbey had heavy debts, and it was at this time that a vision was recorded. St Alban had come to one of the monks, telling of the resting place of his priest at Redbourne. Miracles began to be reported at that site, and bones were duly discovered. A second shrine was erected in the abbey, by 1350 this being positioned just to the east of Alban's own shrine, with many pilgrims coming to worship. When Geoffrey of Monmouth wrote the Historiae Regum Britanniae, History of the Kings of Britain, the priest gained a name, Saint Amphibolus, the Latin for cloak, as Alban had used to save him. As said, the Abbey of St Albans rose in importance, but things would change. The dissolution of the monasteries under Henry VIII would see the monks disbanded, its wealth stripped, and under Edward VI the abbey reduced to a parish church. Both shrines were destroyed, their remains used to build a dividing wall separating the Lady Chapel, that began use as a school. It was only with Victorian renovations under George Gilbert Scott in 1872 that they were rediscovered and reassembled. The shrine of St Albans is now largely back to its original splendour, complete with relic donated in 2002. However, the Amphibolus shrine was missing many parts, being roughly assembled and quietly displayed, still remaining largely unknown by visitors today. In late 2019, a new restoration project began, and hopefully once complete, it will help spread the lesser-known history of Amphibolus, Hertfordshire's second saint. If you would like to know more, there is plenty available, and Hertfordshire libraries are a great place to start, with many online resources alongside material in your local library. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for listening.